position to get the fight, and then they politically took the position away from me by elevating him up to the super champion, which made it so that he was no longer obligated to any mandatories. And now I'm currently the WBA super champion of the world. So, you know, to me, the real purpose of holding the super champion, once when I studied the industry and understood politically what this belt and what that belt means, to me, the real purpose of having the super champ is to do things like this and have a unification bout. Because when a fighter has 2 belts, he's supposed to have 2 mandatories. Now that means that you don't really get to pick the fight that you want anymore, because now you're getting this mandatory thrown upon you from this federation, and you got this mandatory thrown on you from another federation, and then it's less for you to do what you want to do for your career. So by the WBA creating that super title, that allowed Floyd to really only focus on one mandatory, which was the WBC, if he wants to take it or not, and it gave him way more room to move his career the way that he wanted to move it. And because he was able to do that, one thing that he was not presented with, one thing that nobody had to get in his face and ask him about was, how do you feel about Keith one-time Thurman, who is your #1 mandatory challenger in the WBA? You know, as soon as he fought Maidana and got that title, I'm the mandatory. He schedules a rematch, so there's no point in talking about it. He wins again. Now, the question is, how do you feel about your mandatory? 6 months go by and they elevated him and it wasn't a subject. You know what I'm saying? So I've been waited a long time for that fight. Floyd looks like he's out of the game. I may not ever get that fight. If he does want to come back, I'm willing to take that fight. And you know, I'm willing to fight the top dogs. And Floyd, with his legacy, that's something that I want to accomplish, is to be the first person to defeat a legend like Floyd Mayweather. You know, that way I can create my own legacy for myself overnight, boom, by getting rid of a legend in the sport of boxing, you know. But outside of that, man, having 2 titles is the starting point of creating my own legacy, with or without Floyd Mayweather. And I'm truly looking forward to that. So on my upbringing, I've always seen 2 paths for my legacy. One leads to Floyd Mayweather, and the other one is just Keith one-time Thurman being one-time Thurman and being at the top of the welterweight division for a long period of time, and thus being the man.